Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to OneGrid. Welcome to Thursday night racing with the Lickety Slicks. Race 1 of the season here at the end of 2025 will be at Oswego Speedway. About a 15 race schedule. Qualifying is underway at the moment. Getting some qualifying laps in. Looks like Jamie Howe right now is at the top of the board. That was his final lap. Coming to complete his final lap, the 78 of Armando Melgoza. 6th fastest. We're going to click through here, see if we got any cars. Oh, Lee Bennett, top of the board. Now he's on his second and final lap. 17.48. Can he improve? Already with your pole time here tonight, 13 cars have sent in a lap time at the stripe. That first lap was better. Right now, Josh Warner, bottom of the board of the guys that have qualified. This is his second and final lap. Down the back straightaway. As he clocks it, he will do better, up to 9th. Caden Clark, his final lap. At the stripe, improves, but stays 15th quick. 2 drivers yet to qualify. We're not getting a lap out of them. But what a qualifying effort at a Lee Bennett. Currently sits fastest. I wonder if we're going to get one more again. We're waiting on Corey Gildner and Brian Smith to get out there and lay a lap. For the time being, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Noah Longyear. Producer at OneGridTV, owner of Player Advancement League on Tuesday nights. We run the Xfinity cars, and then in the offseason of the Xfinity Car Series, just like Lickety Slicks, we run Dirt Late Model Pros. During our Dirt Series, separated in tours. Every tour is a different car. And I think we might just be about ready to go. Again, we got to wait for the timer to run out. But I assume that's going to be the conclusion of qualifying. 15 cars hit the track. I know there are 2 more that registered for tonight's event. I just don't know if we're going to see them. So here we go. We just got a qualify entry out of Brian Smith. He's actually on his second and final lap at the flag stand. He was 11th quick. The time will not improve. He stays 11th. Now we're going to see Corey get out there. Nope, no Corey yet. And that might conclude qualifying. With the field that we have, we're going to have, I believe, 2 heat races. Heat race number 1 is already hitting the track. Of course, on pole, Jaleel Bennett, fastest in qualifying. Let's talk to him. Hey, Jaleel, this is Noah in the booth. You got a copy?
Copy.
Well, you put her on pole. Fastest car here tonight at Oswego. What's the expectation?
Hopefully, man, I can hold grip and make it happen for the feature and hope for the best, pretty much.
You're the fastest here
Pretty
tonight,
much
but who else do we got to keep an eye on? Sorry.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. It's mysterious.
Alrighty, Jaleel, we're going to send you back down. We'll send Jaleel back down. It'll be 8 laps for our heat races. Again, we're only running 2 heat races tonight. Jaleel Bennett, Douglas Henry won our Power Racing Dirt Series opener at Volusia last Tuesday night. He's brought some speed here to Lickety Slicks. I think we're going to get one more time around. Different from normal tracks, the flag stands on the other side. Our iconic OneGridTV flag stand camera will be on the opposite side of the track. Next time by, we will see the green flag Row 2. League owner, sibling, I believe, to the league owner, Jonathan Howe, who's outside Daniel Nans. Josh Warner, Brian Smith, and then Armando de Agosa makes up the rest of this field. And here we go. We're going to get ready to rip them. Belts pulled tight, nuts on the dash. Heat race number 1 is underway. Douglas Henry tries to attack at the top. The car plows all the way up to the fence, puts the right rear up into the wall, and Jaleel Bennett will begin to pull away. And Jonathan Howe got the jump, moves into that second position. And now Josh Warner and Daniel Nance have eaten up Douglas Henry. There goes Brian Smith on the inside. Contact, Douglas Henry and Daniel Nance. Douglas still going backwards after that wall contact. Jonathan Howe into second. Here comes Josh Warner. Moves into the third position. The battle is on for Daniel Nance and Steve Clark. Fourth and fifth. Douglas Henry finally rebounds the car. Same old car to the bottom. Douglas up the inside. 3 wide. Oh, that was tight. Down the back straightaway. Doug's going to send it in on Daniel Nance. Doug back into the fourth position now. If he can clear the 95. Big battles. Douglas Henry re-clears in the third position. Fourth, but has a long way to go to get back where he qualified. Josh Warner is his next objective. Daniel Nance trying to battle back. Gyro cam of Daniel Nance chasing Douglas Henry into the corner. A lot of movement down there on the bottom, a lot of wheel movement. Douglas Henry with the advantage, but they're still side by side, and they've caught up to the rear bumper of Josh Warner in the 47. Douglas Henry carrying really good momentum on the top, but he's getting a little bit of an arrow wash from Josh Warner, slowing him up. Finally, they get single file. Now Douglas Henry can move to the bottom. Pass for the third position underway, 3 laps to go. Douglas Henry up to the inside. He will get the position. Up in the fluff goes Josh Warner. Douglas Henry back to second. Jonathan Howe has slowly closed in on Jaleel Bennett for that lead. The gap was a second. Now it's down to 8/10, but Jaleel Bennett coming by the flag stand. There'll be 1 lap to go for the 94. Jonathan Howe, Douglas Henry, Josh Warner, Daniel Nance, Brian Smith, your top 6. Steve Clark, 7th. Armando Melgosa, in 8th. And as they track down the back straightaway, coming to the front stretch, Jaleel Bennett is the winner of heat race number 1. Jonathan Howe, Douglas Henry, top 3. What a battle. Douglas Henry had to fight back after a wall contact. And now Jaleel Bennett. We're going to bring him back into the booth. Jaleel Bennett in the booth. He got a copy.
Copy.
Well, that was one heck of a heat race right there. When you saw Douglas Henry and brush up into that wall and you knew you had the lead, was there any pressure from the second place position?
No, man. I looked back and I seen a pretty big gap there, and I pretty much knew I had it in the bag, man. But there was a few times, I thought I was going to brush that wall and take myself out, but I kept momentum and pretty much made it happen, man.
All right, Jaleel, heat race number 1 winner. We'll see you tonight in the feature. Thank you, man. We'll send Jaleel down. Now we got to grab Jamie Howe. So I said he was in the previous race. I was incorrect. Read that wrong, but he starts on the pole here. Let's go ahead and get him up into the booth. Jamie, no in the booth. You got a copy.
It's a big copy.
Well, the last time I talked to you, you were the pole sitter on Pal Racing Tuesday night. Here you started outside pole, puts you up front for heat race number 2. Are we going to see the speeds you brought last Tuesday, but not the mistake?
I sure do hope so. Hopefully I don't catch that right rear on the wall and she sucked me up in there like a vacuum cleaner.
All righty, Jamie, get ready for heat race number 2. We're going to send you back down.
Thanks, man.
That is your league owner, Lickety Slicks, Jamie Howe. Some words of encouragement for himself. I don't know what the heck camera 4 is doing, but we got the giant pavilion in the way. What is the nose of that car? Who is that on Anthony Ellie? But he is saying F you. Maybe that is Anthony. And he's flipping everybody off. I don't know. I've never seen that in my life. Next time by, we will take the green flag. We're having loads of fun. Pace truck's going to pull off. Jamie Howe, Anthony Ellie, Damian Leonard, Kenny Douglas, Jason Wooldridge, Raymond Wimmer, Zachary Kennedy, Caden Clark. As they come down the front straightaway, green flag is up. Heat race number 2, belts pulled tight, nuts on that dash, and we're ready to thrash. We are green, 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 green. As the field goes screaming by, Jamie Howe under attack. Anthony Ellie trying to make the top side work. Jamie not quite clear. I thought I saw 3rd and 4th. Kenny Douglas, Damian Leonard make contact. Into the fluff. It's tied off of 4. But you might need to give the lead to Anthony Ellie down the front straightaway. Yes, he will have it. Into the lead goes Anthony. Jamie Howe back to the 2nd position. A pair of fighters right now. Kenny Douglas, Damon Leonard, 3rd and 4th. Jason Wooldridge all over their rear ends. 3 wide through 3 and 4. That's Kenny Douglas. All the way up on the top, Jason Wooldridge. Here comes Raymond Wimmer up the inside. Kenny Douglas got that car sideways, had to bury it. Here comes Jason Wooldridge. Raymond Wimmer all over the ripper of Raymond Wimmer. But hold on, Jamie Howe is re-attacking Anthony Ellie. Down the back straightaway. Here comes the 17. Started up front, that's where he wants to finish. We're approaching halfway, next time by. Here comes Jamie Howe up the inside. He will take the lead, he will take the position. But here comes Anthony Eli battling back on that top line. And Anthony will get it back at the flag stand. Damon Leonard moves into the 3rd position. Down the back straightaway, Jason Wooldridge, Kenny Douglas, Raymond Wimmer in the 6th spot. We are at the flag stand now, completing lap number 5. Anthony Eli continues. Jamie Howe pitches it sideways, buries the car, loses momentum, almost puts the left front in the wall, but he's still digging. Now he will send it in again to the turns 3 and 4. He doesn't rip the cushion. He comes down half a car length, gets to the rear bumper of the 5. Down the straightaway, 2 laps to go. Jamie is not strong in 1 and 2, but dang does he get a run in 3 and 4. Here comes Damon Leonard. Damon Leonard follows the pair into turns 3 and 4. Coming to take the white flag, Anthony Ellie. One more time around, can he hang on? Jamie Howard all over his rear bumper. And now the gap begins to be displayed. Here comes Damon Leonard, who's trying to grab that position. But Anthony Eli through turns 3 and 4 as they're door-to-door for the 2nd spot at the flag stand. Anthony Eli, winner here's number 2. Jamie Howe gets that 2nd position from Damon Leonard. Jason Wooldridge, Raymond Wimmer, Zachary Kennedy, Caden Clark, and Kenny Douglas. And how about that for Anthony Ellie? Anthony, no in the booth, and you have a copy.
Yes, sir.
That was one hell of a battle there. You got it done. What's it going to take to win tonight's feature?
I think it's going to be clean air. I think that's going to be key. And I think it's whoever can ride the cushion and not take their spoiler off.
All right. Thank you so much, Anthony. Have fun during this feature.
Thank you.
We'll send Anthony back down. And ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for your main event. 17 cars will make the field. We're still missing Corey Gilder now because he didn't compete in the heat race. He still gets a provisional to the feature, but he has still been MIA, so it looks like we're going to get 16 Dirt Late Model Pros, 30 laps at Oswego. You can see after the track work that fluff has came down quite a bit in turns 1 and 2, 3 and 4. It's still against the fence. But Jaleel Bennett starts on the front row in the top spot. Anthony Ellie, Jonathan Howe, Jamie Howe, Douglas Henry, Damon Leonard, Josh Warner, Jason Wooldridge the 2nd, Daniel Nance, Raymond Wimmer the 2nd, round out the top 10. Brian Smith, Zachary Kennedy, Steve Clark, Caden Clark, and Armando de Melgosa. Kenny Douglas round out your 16-car field. Going to be one heck of a battle. We saw speed out of a lot of guys. But Anthony Eli said it, clean air is everything. You got to have the clean air. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the most famous words in iRacing. It's time for your OneGridTV Go Time music. 16 drivers here at Oswego Speedway. The first season of the Lickety Slicks. OneGridTV's Thursday night action. Bumper to bumper, wheel to wheel, and door to door through turns 3 and 4. Belts pulled tight, nuts on that dash. Here in the Lickety Slicks, we are green. As they cross the flag stand to complete the first lap of tonight's event, it's Jaleel Bennett with the lead. Anthony Eli all over his rear bumper. Caution is out, and we got issues. I see Zachary Kennedy spun around on pit road entry. We do get an incident report. I think Armando Melgoza and Caden Clark may have been involved. Let's take a look at the replay. So I see Zachary Kennedy. That's him in the 55. Plows tight, right rear in the wall. I think the 7 car finishes him off. Oh, big air time. Gets into, I think that might have been, not sure. Oh, I think that was Armando Melgoza. And perfectly puts him in pit road, might be where he needs to be. That was crazy. Zachary Kennedy will rejoin at the tail end of the field. Armando Melgoza, big hit for him. He's down on pit road, gets his fast repair, and he will rejoin the field. And so, as our position board here, iRacing and iOverlay never really get along when it comes to the leaderboard system because the laps, of course, don't count under caution, so it freaks out a little bit. Now it's showing Caden Clark with the lead. I don't think that's correct unless I missed something. There we go. Now it goes back in the hands of Jaleel Bennett. Anthony Eli, Jonathan Howe, Douglas Henry, Jamie Howe, your top 5. Lights are off on the pace truck. Flagman, will he there we go. Now we reach for the green flag. At the stand, we will grief Zoom Racing. 2 laps completed of this 30-lap feature. Already getting hairy. You can see now the cars enter the picture. Anthony Elliott will be in command whenever he decides to go. The field has to catch up. This might cause some checkups. Rolls nice and slow to the cone. Green flag's back out, and away we go. But I see contact all throughout the field. Jaleel Bennett, Anthony Ellie into the 2nd position. Douglas Henry battling on that top line. To the outside of the 19. The 19 will cross in front of him. Contact between Howell and Douglas Henry. That's Jonathan Howell in the 19. Jamie Howell in the 17. Jamie will go backwards. Issues for Jamie Howell, just like on Pal Racing Tuesday. And Douglas Henry will be the beneficiary as he works on Jonathan Howell. Into turns 3 and 4, up the inside, trying to make room. Right now, Bennett still leads over Ellie. Douglas Henry making ground. He loves that top line. Jonathan Howell, the car gets bouncy, it gets tight, he has to get out of it. But Douglas Henry did not get a good corner as well. Here they come across the flag stand. Jaleel Bennett still leads. Douglas Henry jumps back in line. A lot of tight battles going on through this field. Jaleel still leading from our helicopter cam. Anthony Ellie, Jonathan Howe, Douglas Henry are still battling wheel to wheel. Doug keeps trying to make a move, but look at this field already. Single file just about all the way around. You see a couple of different lines being used. But at the moment, Jaleel Bennett, clean air is all his. Anthony Eli said that was going to be the key tonight. And now, Jonathan Howe has caught up to the 5 machine. Jonathan tries the inside. He's going to bury the nose to the bottom. Just about gets it to the wall. He might have even brushed it. but he does gain ground of the 5. Anthony Ellie still trying to hang on. Jonathan Howell running him down. Let's go to the gyro cam of Douglas Henry. Yellow flag is out. Issues. I think it's Raymond Wimmer. Oh, he's missing an entire right front tire. Raymond Wimmer the second. Heavy damage. Had a great showing on Pal Racing Tuesday, but now he's got a limp. That destroyed car back to pit road. Let's take a look and see what happened on the replay. Raymond Wimmer looks a little out of shape. Daniel Nance 3 wide up the inside. I just don't think Raymond is ready for him to be there. Gets himself put in the wall. I don't know if there's a lot of blame that falls on Nance there. I think Raymond just wasn't ready for Nance to be filling that position. Raymond must not have known he was going to get there. Raymond Wimmer still trying to find pit road entry. It's kind of hard to turn around in one of these things. Good thing they're built for turning left. As long as they get it to his box, he should have a fast repair. Get that damage fixed. And Anthony Ellie was just about able to run down Jaleel. Wasn't enough. The yellow will come out, give these guys a reset. But Oswego was not disappointing. I was told a lot of great things from this track. Lights are off on the pace track. Caution lights are off around Oswego Speedway. Next time by, we will retake the green flag and get back into your racing action. 9 laps completed. Last time we saw an issue with cars trying to catch up to the pack. We'll see if we see that big checkup again or not. But Jaleel Bennett in command whenever he decides to go is when the rest of the field has to follow. Green flag is back out, and we're back racing. Douglas Henry, big plow up into the fluff. That's going to allow Damon Leonard and Jason Wooldridge up the inside, and Doug continues to go backwards. Jamie Howe will not make the pass for the position. Meanwhile, up front, Anthony Eli shunted out of line. Give it back to Jonathan Howe. Can Jonathan get around Jaleel Bennett? He goes on the attack. Ellie is there. 3 cars, 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Jonathan Howe. Yellow flag is out. And that just saved Jaleel Bennett. Damian Leonard might have gotten caught up with Josh Warner. I'm not sure. Might have been Brian Smith. Let's take a look at the replay. Watch the 18 car. The 47 plows up the track. Oh, he leaves the 15. Not enough room on the bottom. Almost flips the 18 over sideways. Just don't think there was quite enough room for him. Let's see if we can see anything from Brian Smith's point of view. Now, here we go. This is the 15 car. He's running the bottom. Gets a little bit tight, but he's still down here. The 18, just not a lot of real estate. They were probably about 3 wide. Brian Smith still out on track. Josh Warner down on pit road. We saw contact. He was involved and got over to the fence. His day may be done. I don't know who that is behind him. That's actually Daniel Nance. His night might be over as well. Both those cars destroyed. We look back to Jaleel Bennett, Jonathan Howe, Anthony Eli. Man, Jonathan had some speed there. I thought he was going to get there. Just wasn't enough. Lights are off on the pace truck. Lights are off around Oswego Speedway. Will we go green once again after caution number 3. These drivers have showed us every lane Oswego has to offer. Nose to tail. Leader will have the bail. We're going to be back under green. Potentially issues for Brian Smith. It looks like that rear spoiler is trying to rip itself off. Here comes Douglas Henry out of nowhere. Last restart, he went from 3rd to 7th. I think he just found his way from 7th back to 3rd inside of Jonathan Howe. Jonathan will retain the position. Meanwhile, Anthony Alley tried to run down Jaleel Bennett, couldn't get there. Now Jonathan Howe has to work on him all over again. Doug back in the 4th position. Regains some control and tries to re-attack. Ellie into the wall. There might be a big pile up. Ellie stuck on the fence, and we still don't throw the yellow. Now it comes out. Got way too close to the wall, flew too close to the sun, and it melted his wings. And this will put Anthony to the rear. Take a look at our replay. So you're going to see that 5 car running in line. I don't think there's contact from Howe. I thought he plowed just a little bit. Yeah, too much right rear. And Howe actually finished him off. Just needed to give Ellie a little bit more room there on the exit. But Ellie up in the fluff. It's hard for quicker drivers to get around in that situation. Now he's exiting pit road. Has that car fixed. Jaleel still in command of this race. Field will cycle back out. It looks like cars are getting 2 by 2. I'm going to assume next time by we will see the green. Possibly not. We might actually extend it so Anthony Ellie could catch back up. Brian Smith still out there. I think we're going to see one more time around for these drivers. I would hope. Maybe not. We might go green here. Looks like we're getting side by side. Maybe the leaders are just a little bit eager. Yep. Still yellow. So next time by, I think we'll see the green flag. All right, race fans in the OneGridTV Twitch chat, what are we thinking? Who's winning tonight? Is Jaleel going to hang on? Does Jonathan have the speed? Could Douglas bounce back? How far will Anthony Eli climb up that sheet before this race is over with? I gotta know what you all are thinking. Pace truck will pull off. I know what I'm thinking. It's about time to go green. This time we get 14 laps completed, just shy of halfway. Round turns 3 and 4. Jaleel will go early, leaves him at the door. Here we go. We're back underway. Jaleel Bennett played the game, and he will profit, and it leaves the rest of the field side by side, scratching heads, and the yellow comes back out. I think Raymond Wimmer has destroyed the right front again. The right front gone on the 00 buckshot Wimmer. Oh, and he's going to finish off the car entering pit road. I'm sure he's not happy about that, so let's take a look and see what happened. Raymer restarted 5th on the bottom. Oh, he just runs at the back of the 50, checks up, and everybody else finishes him off. Yeah, he might not be happy that he got ARCA brake, but when green flag's still out, you got to expect these dirt guys not to give you too much. But he's down on pit road. I think he's getting it fixed. Still waiting for him to re-enter the track. The 78 of Romando Melgosa also has some damage to fix after that. Douglas Henry into the 3rd position. He's still trying to get up to that front. We know he has the speed, but he is missing some consistency at the moment. Alrighty, Raymond Wimmer back out on track, as well as Armando Milgosa. Pace truck pulls off. He got him pretty early. I wonder if he'll fall for it again. Jaleel Bennett with the command. Douglas is ready. Nose underneath the 94. But here we go. Green flag back out. He'll launch in the center.
Green flag.
And now Douglas Henry pulls to the inside of Jonathan Howell. He's trying to get that position quick. Trying to make that bottom line work. Not quite. He needs to be aware of Kenny Douglas. He might try to make a move on the 66. This time, Bacon boards the 19 off the cushion. Gets a really good run on Jaleel Bennett. Here comes Jonathan Howell. Jonathan, expertise driving through 3 and 4. Can he replicate 1 and 2? Trying to pull close to the 94. Kenny Douglas moves to the inside of Douglas Henry. Douglas up in the fluff. Trying to bang the boards, gets that right rear stuck, maintains the 3rd position. And right now, Jonathan Howell is all over the rear bumper, but now he's all over the wall, and the 66 will go by. Douglas gets the position. Jonathan gave it all he had. He was all over that cushion, all up against the fence. And now we'll see the pace out of Douglas Henry. Can he run down Jaleel Bennett? Douglas Henry now feeling immense pressure from Jonathan Howell. Jonathan wants it back. And look, that is Jason Wooldridge and the 74 making up ground on the inside. He's trying to get underneath Jonathan. Douglas Henry still hanging on. They haven't really reeled in the 94. I take that back. A 10th quicker that time by. Douglas Henry putting a little bit more rear tire in the fluff. He makes the same mistake Jonathan did. Can Jonathan capitalize? Yes, he will. Up the inside, goes to make the pass slider. Can he look inside? There's Wooldridge. Almost 3 wide, side by side down the back straightaway. Jonathan Howell all the way to the top. Doug tries the slider of his own. It will connect. Here comes Jonathan back on the inside. Crossover, the over the under, the zig and the zag, and give it back to Jonathan Howell. Here comes Wooldridge. Big slider, and that might have just bailed out Douglas Henry. Raymond Wimmer wrecked again. And I think Anthony Ellie may have been involved. Raymond is not happy. Oh, no. Let's take a look at the replay. Raymond Wimmer running on Anthony Ellie. Anthony Ellie, no rear spoiler. Daniel Nance up the inside of Buckshot. 0-0, and the 47 and the 5. They're all in the fence. And I think Raymond Wimmer just got finished off. Let's take a look at that again. Through the cockpit cam of Anthony Ellie into the fence. Catch some air. I'm unable to see what happened to Raymond. You're going to see all 3 of those cars up top get in the fence. Raymond gets shut down across Brian Smith, and he tries to hang on to it, gets into the brakes, hits that inside wall. Yeah, you can't really slam on the brakes in these cars. It's not going to go the direction you hope it would. And Raymond Wimmer will call it a night. I think he might be out of fast repairs, and that is the end for the 0-0. And Douglas Henry might have gotten bailed out with that yellow. I think he gets that 3rd position back. At the moment, scoreboard is showing Jason Wooldridge gets the position. I don't think, well, maybe they did cross the flag stand and Jason had a nose out ahead. Here we go. Now it's going to refresh. We'll actually see. Lights are off on the pace truck. Lights are off again on Oswego Speedway. 22 laps in out of 30. And it looks like Doug will be relegated to the 4th position. Single file restarts. Jonathan might not be getting the message. Maybe Jaleel. There we go. Now they're going to figure it out. Single file restart within 10 laps to go. How does this change how these guys build runs into the restart zone? Back underway. Might be a cleaner restart, but it's also slider prone. Kenny Douglas took a shot at Douglas Henry. The Douglas and Douglas show. And Jonathan Howe has probably been the second fastest car tonight, trying to get around the quickest car tonight, Jaleel Bennett. Jason Wooldridge, we haven't seen a lot out of him tonight, but he slowly moved his way towards the top 3, and he might have something to say for that second position on the 19. He looks to the inside, draws even, front tires in the slick. He drives down into it, trying to make the pass. There's no grip. He falls back. This time it's, I was going to say a slider, but he'll just try the bottom and see how it fares. Oh, contact! Was not ready to be drawn even with the 19. This time it's a slider. Can Wooldridge complete? Yes, he will. Here comes the 19 back to the inside, and a caution will fall. Brian Smith, no front right, and that bailed out Jonathan. Oh, my. Well, Brian Smith, let's take a look and see what happened. Oh, he just pushes up into the fluff, into the fence. And there goes the tire. Pop goes the weasel. And we bring out another yellow 25 laps into this race. Woo! Man, this is an eager one. 6 laps to go when we take the green flag, and everybody has been throwing Hail Marys, game winners, half courts, absolute bombs at Jaleel Bennett, and either the caution falls or they just run out of room on that top line. That slick line is really hurting these guys' ability to get side by side, but what it's also hurting is the slider line. They're slick on the entry. You have to complete the slider. You got to drive through the slick, but even if you don't complete the slider, you can't give that guy a run for his money on the bottom line, because it's slick all the way around. If you can get right against the fence, you're still not getting the run the leader gets on the cushion. So it might take a chrome horn to get the lead away from Jaleel. But also, you got to be able to say, hey, the clinic that Jaleel is putting on right now, he's been flawless. He's not making mistakes. That's a lot of pressure on the leader. Single file restart. Jaleel in command. Will this be the final restart of tonight's race? Here we go. Green flag back out. It'll be a 6-lap shootout. Jonathan Howell and Jaleel Bennett got a really good launch. Leaves Douglas Henry, Jason Wooldridge in the dust. Anthony Eli, don't blink, but he's already up to that 6th position, trying to work on Kenny Douglas. Oh, around is Jonathan Howell. Oh, no, your second-place driver. Oh, no, this will put him to the tail. It'll give Jason Wooldridge second, Douglas Henry third, Anthony Ellie the top 5. What happened to Jonathan Howell? He's been the most aggressive with that top line. I wonder if he flew too close to the sun. Oh my gosh, the right rear all the way in the fence. Does a good job of keeping it up out of the way. And he's now down on pit road, gets that damage fixed, going to rejoin the field. And Jaleel Bennett, we know Jason Wooldridge has speed. What is Jaleel Bennett expecting out of the 74? These single file restarts are really giving the leader the advantage. But I wonder if Jason Wooldridge just has enough power in that 74 to make a difference on this battle. Kenny Douglas into the 4th position. He's consistently worked his way, pushing into the top 3. Here we go. Pace truck will pull off.
Hang on, we're not going green.
We're going to get in a yellow extension. It looks like Steve Clark may have passed the field an extra time on accident or just found himself in front of it. Yellow will be extended so Steve could rejoin the rear end of the field safely. But your running order, Jaleel Bennett, Jason Wooldridge, Douglas Henry, Kenny Douglas. Oh, I'd love to tell you the running order, but it's going to get a little freaky real quick. Oh my gosh. iOverlay and iRacing do not like each other. Kenny Douglas 4th, Zachary Kennedy in the 5th position, Anthony Ellie, Caden Clark, Daniel Nans, Jamie Howe, Damon Leonard. But here we go, potentially for the final time tonight, 5 laps left in this race. Does anybody have an answer for the problem Jaleel Bennett is causing? Sneaking up the show, leading every lap, green flag back out. And it's a little bit doggier this time around. Wooldridge trying to close the gap. Douglas Henry had an attack out of Kenny Douglas. He will close off that line. Jason Wooldridge just right in the tire tracks in the 94. Can he build a little extra speed? Running out of time. Now we begin lap 28. Jason Wooldridge bouncing off the boards, trying to do everything he can to get to the 94. Douglas Henry all clear in 3rd. He'll watch this battle ensue. Jason Wooldridge looks a little bit quicker, but it's the issue of clean air and a one line around Oswego that's going to hinder his ability to get side by side. He gets a really good drive through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, coming to 2 laps to go. Up the inside, Jaleel Bennett doing everything he can. A white flag one more time around for the gang. Next flag ends the race. Jaleel Bennett has led every lap tonight, proving he is one of the fastest at the beginning of the season. Oswego Speedway, shout his name. Wooldridge into the wall. Nowhere to go for the 66. Douglas will pedal it back. Wooldridge stopped in the middle of the track. There's a pileup coming to the checkered. Anthony Ellie gets the 3rd position. Oh my. Caden Clark 4th. What a rebound night for Brian Smith in the 15 and 5th. Jason Wooldridge unable to get that car back going. And Jaleel Bennett, your winner here tonight at Oswego Speedway. He's going to park it on the front stretch. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaleel Bennett, winner of the Dirt Late Model Pros, Race 1 of Lickety Slicks. Jaleel, one hell of a fight out of you. Some may say you stunk up the show. Some may say you brought the show. What did it take? What was the effort level? What was the focus level to be dang near mistake-free to make sure you hold on to that lead? How close you had to run the boards, the slick line, not allowing drivers to get side by side, but also not allowing you to make a mistake and stay glued to the cushion.
Yeah, man, I came out here, bro. I struggled with a little bit of traction, but I kept momentum. I kept pushing, and it was able to happen. I struggled a little bit with the grid, and to everybody, I'm totally sorry on that. But at the end of the day, I made it happen, man, and I put everything I got into it, man. And a big shout out to BSR Racing, Savage House Racing, Moser Racing, and yeah, man, much love to everybody that helped me put into what I got, man. And it was a great race, 100%.
Jaleel Bennett, winner of the very first race, the first feature in Lickety Slicks, led pretty much every single one. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
We'll send Jaleel back down, finishing P2 in a dramatic way. And number 66 of Douglas Henry, your Tuesday night winner. Doug, no in the booth, you got a copy.
Yeah, I got a copy.
Finished P2 here tonight. I want to know what was the reaction when you came around turns 3 and 4, they're going to the checkered, and you had Woodridge backwards in front of you. We saw some contact, and you still found a way to pull off the second position.
Yo, I'm not sure what they pay out for second place, but it's all going into fixing this race car, I'll tell you what.
You had a great night on PAL Racing Tuesday for the Dirt Series of Volusia, won the feature, finished second here tonight. You were definitely a top 5 car. What do you need moving forward in Lickety Slicks to give these guys a run for their money and get that top spot? Or do you think Oswego just wasn't the track for you tonight?
Well, this is my second time on the racetrack ever, so I definitely just need more seat time on some of these tracks that I haven't run before. I definitely think I could probably pull off a couple wins at some tracks I'm more familiar with, so...
Alrighty, Doug, finishing P2 tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll send Doug down and finishing the third. What a captivating night out of this young man, a driver, the number 5, Anthony Ellie. Let's talk to him. Anthony, you know, in the booth, you got a copy.
Yes, sir.
What a crazy night it was out of you. First, we're battling for the lead. Then we get caught up in a wreck. We're relegated to the rear. You drive your way up to 6th, another wreck, and you kept rebounding, and you finish home in 3rd. Talk about the resilience you had to display tonight at Oswego.
Oh man, to be honest with you, when I went for that second quick repair, I was just gonna ride out, and then I found something in the bottom of 1 and 2, and man, it just turned into a rocket ship, and it just went right to the front.
Going into the rest of the season, it's going to be a long one. 15 weeks of dirt racing here, nonstop. What do you got to do to get this championship? You look like you're going to be one of the favorites.
We got to be consistent. Jaleel that won the race as a teammate. We had quite a few team cars up in the front, so it's just going to be about consistency against all the boys, and we push each other to strive for the best.
One last question. What the heck is on the front of your car? Who is that flipping us off?
Well, that is Kenny Douglas in the 36 car.
Oh, my
Snapchat
God.
that we got from him.
Okay, we love it. We love to see the camaraderie. Congratulations, Anthony, on the top 3.
Thank you so much.
We'll send Anthony back down, and ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude tonight's racing action in the Lickety Slicks. Brought to you by OneGrid. Jaleel Bennett picks up the win. Douglas Henry, Anthony Ellie, Caden Clark, Brian Smith round out the top 5. One heck of a night. Next week, Monday night, Frontier Truck Tour returns. iRacing, alcohol, the beautiful mix of both. We see them at Dover. PAL Racing Tuesday. The Dirt Series, Tour number 1 with the Dirt Late Model Pros. We'll go to Limaland. And as well as the Throttle Hopper Racing League, it kicks off Wednesday with their season opener. Thursdays, we'll be right back here with Lickety Slicks. My name is Noah Longyear, your pal Rowdy, the producer of OneGrid, creator, co-owner of PAL Racing. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight, and I will see you next time.